Have you ever felt like something was off, like the official story, the one we're fed by governments and the media, is just a carefully constructed facade? Well, you're not alone. For centuries, whispers have circulated about a hidden hand guiding global events, a shadow government operating behind the curtain. They pull the strings, manipulate economies, and orchestrate conflicts to advance their own agenda. This is their story. We're not talking about lizard people or alien overlords here, folks. This is about power, raw, unchecked power concentrated in the hands of a select few. Think secret societies, powerful banking families, and unelected bureaucrats. These are the players in this high-stakes game, and the world is their chessboard, their goal. Global domination, but they're not after conquering land masses or waving flags. No, their conquest is far more insidious. They seek control over information, finance, and ultimately our very thoughts and beliefs. This isn't a new phenomenon. The seeds of this shadow government were sown centuries ago, and their plan has unfolded in 3 distinct phases. Buckle up, people, because we're about to take a wild ride through history, exposing the truth they don't want you to know. The Enlightenment sounds lovely, doesn't it? A time of reason, progress, and intellectual awakening. And it was in many ways. But every coin has 2 sides. The Enlightenment, while ushering in an era of scientific advancement, also birthed the ideology that underpins our modern system of global control. Act 1. Planting the seeds. The first phase began with the early Enlightenment thinkers. These were brilliant minds, no doubt, but their ideas, however well-intentioned, contained the seeds of what was to come. The emphasis on reason and logic, while essential for scientific progress, also paved the way for a cold, calculating approach to governance, one that prioritized efficiency over individual liberty. Act 2. Fanning the flames. The Industrial Revolution marked the second act. Technological innovations, while improving many aspects of life, also concentrated wealth and power in the hands of a new elite, the industrialists. These captains of industry, driven by profit and progress, had little regard for the social and environmental consequences of their actions. Act 3, the digital curtain falls. And now we find ourselves in the third act, the digital age. The internet, once hailed as a tool for democratization, has become the ultimate weapon of control. Algorithms dictate what we see, hear, and believe, shaping our perceptions and manipulating our behavior. The Enlightenment, for all its progress, also unleashed forces that have brought us to the precipice. The shadow government, like a patient gardener, has nurtured these forces, shaping them to their will, and the world stage is now set for their final act. If you want to understand how the world really works, you need to look beyond the borders of nation-states. Forget Washington, Moscow, or Beijing. The real power players operate from the shadows, exerting their influence through a network of key cities and organizations. Think London, the heart of global finance; Wall Street, the engine of American capitalism; Brussels, the bureaucratic behemoth of the European Union. These are the nerve centers of the global system, where decisions are made that reverberate around the world. These cities aren't chosen by accident. They are strategically located, often at crossroads of trade and commerce, and serve as hubs for international finance, media, and diplomacy. This concentration of power allows the shadow government to exert maximum influence with minimal visibility, but it's not just about cities. Organizations like the World Economic Forum, the Bilderberg Group, and the Trilateral Commission play a crucial role in this network of power. These exclusive gatherings bring together the world's elite politicians, CEOs, academics, and media moguls to discuss and shape the global agenda behind closed doors. These are not mere talking shops, folks. They are the architects of our future, drafting the blueprints for a world order that serves their interests, not ours. And if we don't wake up to their game, we'll all be playing by their rules. Section 4, the wheels of industry, turn from fields to factories to algorithms. The history of humanity is inextricably linked to the evolution of our economic systems. From the agrarian societies of the past to the digital economies of today, each era has been shaped by the way we produce, consume, and exchange goods and services, and each transition has been ruthlessly exploited by the shadow government to consolidate their power. Phase 1. the agrarian age. For millennia, life revolved around the land. Power resided with those who controlled the means of food production, the feudal lords and landowning elites. But the seeds of change were sown with the rise of mercantilism and early global trade. Phase 2, the Industrial Revolution. The invention of the steam engine and the mechanization of production unleashed an economic tsunami. Factories sprang up, cities swelled, and a new class of industrialists amassed unimaginable wealth. The old power structures were upended, but the concentration of power only intensified. Phase 3, the Information Age. Today, we stand on the cusp of a new era, the Age of Information. Data is the new oil, and those who control its flow control the future. Tech giants with their algorithms and vast data centers have become the new power brokers, dictating the terms of the digital economy. The shadow government understands the power of economic control. Throughout history, they have manipulated markets, engineered booms and busts, and rigged the system in their favor. And now, with the world on the verge of a technological revolution, they are poised to cement their grip on the levers of power like never before. Section 5. The Gathering Storm, Shadows of Conflict on the Horizon. Conflict. It's the lifeblood of the shadow government. Wars, pandemics, economic crises. These are not unfortunate accidents, but rather carefully orchestrated events designed to sow chaos, fear, and division. And as we hurtle towards an uncertain future, the storm clouds of conflict are gathering once again. The nature of warfare is evolving. Gone are the days of traditional battlefields and uniformed armies. Today's conflicts are fought in the shadows, in the digital realm, and with weapons of unimaginable destructive power, cyber warfare. It's the silent war waged in the digital ether, with the potential to cripple infrastructure, disrupt economies, and sow chaos on a global scale. Nation-states and non-state actors are already engaged in this high-stakes game, probing defenses and developing increasingly sophisticated cyber weapons. Biological warfare. The COVID-19 pandemic provided a chilling glimpse into the devastating potential of biological weapons. Engineered viruses capable of spreading like wildfire and overwhelming healthcare systems represent a terrifying threat to global security. Nuclear proliferation, the ultimate nightmare scenario, a nuclear war that could end civilization as we know it. While the threat of a full-scale nuclear exchange has receded since the Cold War, the proliferation of nuclear weapons to rogue states and terrorist organizations remains a grave concern. The shadow government thrives on chaos. They are the ultimate war profiteers, enriching themselves while the world burns. And as the drums of war beat louder, we must be vigilant in recognizing the signs and resisting the urge to succumb to fear and division.